Now, in my last video, you joined me on a walk across the New Forest to Two Bridges Bottom to take some photographs. And it was quite a challenge at times, wasn't it? I'll put a link at the end of the video if you haven't actually seen that one. So this video is going to be all about how I edited a couple of images from that walk. There's one with some gorgeous ponies in it, and there's another one with a tree that is silhouetted against a very bright sky. And these edits, I'm not going to go through every single detail with you, but I'm just going to explain my thinking behind each adjustment, and we'll have a look in some detail about the masking that I used, which is very easy to do in PhotoLab 9 on that tree. One of the advantages of using a 6:1 megapixel sensor in your camera is that you can stand well back and not disturb the wildlife, but at the same time you're able to crop in really close to get the framing that you want. One of the things in this particular image that I was keen to ensure was that I kept the subtlety of the light on the ponies. The problem I had is, of course, that the backdrop, the background, was very bright indeed. So I carried out my basic edits for camera and lens, optimization, distortion and vignetting. I adjusted the white balance a little bit and of course cropped the image. There's also some very subtle contrast, and with selective tone I just increased the midtones a little bit and reduced the shadows slightly. Now, I prefer to use selective tone wherever I can rather than the heavy hammer of exposure or contrast. It's a lot more subtle and protects the light. And then of course we come to the local adjustments, the use of masking. And in PhotoLab, masking can be a little bit of a minefield, if I'm honest. You know, you need to know exactly what you're doing and what you're trying to achieve. But once you understand how masking in PhotoLab 9 works, it's incredibly powerful and accurate. I often wonder at people who say the masking in PhotoLab 9 is not very good, and I think it's partly because it takes a little while to learn how it works and what you can achieve. So in this particular image, I'm just going to show you a couple of little things that I did. So I applied two masks, one for the foreground just to bring down the brightness in the foreground, which I did with a graduated filter. And the second one was for the ponies, which when you do an AI mask for animals, it didn't pick up all of the ponies, so I had to add some additional submasks. Very easy to do, but eventually you get the selection that you want, so that you can make your adjustments. All very simple. Now let's look at the second image. Now here's the tree image overlooking a pond with an amazingly textured sky in the background. When I took this shot, I exposed the highlights because I wanted to retain that texture in the shot. I know with PhotoLab 9 I'm able to lift the tree and surrounding countryside very easily. All I had to do was apply some DxO Smart Lighting, a little bit of additional exposure, some contrast, lifting the midtones, and some denoising. All very simple and straightforward. However, I wanted to really highlight the sky, and the tree. So that meant using AI to help me. So with the tree, I selected the tree as an object. Now it's pulled the tree pretty successfully, but you'll see it's also selected the sky behind. So I applied a luminosity mask, and when you do this, you also need to make sure that you invert that mask, and you'll notice how accurately that mask now has just selected the tree. I also wanted to include the base of the tree, so I used another little AI mask just to pick that up. And there we are, that's the full mask. Very accurate indeed. But of course I wanted the sky. So I wanted the sky without the tree. So when you first select the sky, this is what you get. But again, I added a luminosity mask, inverted to shape, and now the tree is deselected. The sky behind is selected. Brilliant. And notice as well that the mask has included the same area in the pond. Now that's clever. Now, before I get into crafting this particular image in Nik Collection 9 using Color Efex, let me just remind you, in the description below, there are some download links for DxO products. Most of the products have a 30-day free trial. I think Pure Raw 6 is only a 14-day trial, but it's still plenty of time to test out any of the DxO products. And should you wish to purchase, use my exclusive discount code TOPG15 to get a 15% discount on your first purchase. Enough said, let's get back to the video and see what Color Efex can do for this image. Now I'm very pleased with this edit. I think I've brought out a lot of the detail in the sky and the tree and balanced the light between the two as well. So I think that's a really good job. My personal view, of course. However, there's a little bit more I can do in Nik Collection Color Efex. So I've imported that image into Color Efex. Let's see how that looks. And here we are, the image is in Color Efex, and the first thing I did was to add a very subtle vignette with the darken, lighten, center filter. This is really good because you can change the center luminosity as well as the border luminosity and the center size, and you can adjust the opacity, and you can add a local adjustment if you wish. That's immense control. And then I added a detail extractor, which just highlights some of the detail. This is a very powerful tool, so you have to be a little bit subtle with it. Otherwise, it's very easy to overdo it. And then finally, I finished it off with a little vignette blur, which just takes away, if you use it subtly again, it just takes away the sharpness around the edges and helps draw the eye into the subject of the image. So that's just a quick walkthrough of some of the editing decisions that I made with both these images. Of course, I haven't gone into the detail of the amounts that I've applied and why I've applied those amounts, or even the subtle adjustments in some of the filters that I've made. So if you'd like more videos about the detail of my editing, just let me know in a comment below. And if there's anything in particular you'd like me to demonstrate or show you. Well, that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that's been useful. And until next time, bye.